From your personal educational experience, can you describe the intellectual rigors you faced in relation to your interactions with diverse student populations?
Well, my educational experience is a little bit different than most other people's because I went to 4 different high schools, and two of the high schools that I went to were very rigorous. One of them was actually rated one of the top 25 public schools in the United States, and it was a very rigorous school, but there was not much diversity within the student populations, and there were a lot more AP classes there than at some of the other high schools I attended. Two of the high schools I attended were very diverse. One of them only had about 50% Caucasians, and the other half was a mixture of other races of students. And while they both had lots of AP classes, they were not as rigorous as the ones I experienced that at other schools with a less diverse population. And as well as the AP classes not being as rigorous, we also had more remedial classes within those two school systems that I noticed.
Okay, thank you very much. What are you guys' views on the value or lack of value of standardized tests?
I think that standardized tests could possibly have a good effect on education, in that they make sure that schools are having similar goals and that the education provided is equal across the country. But a lot of ways they aren't measuring students' achievement, and I don't think that teachers' job performance should be graded on standardized tests.
I think that standardized tests aren't the best for students because, like myself, I obviously don't do well. But I'm doing obviously quite well in college, unlike half my high school, and they did better than me. So I guess I just don't think that is usually for the best.
I think that the idea of a standardized test is a good one to kind of like have an even playing field to measure all of the students across the country on their academic abilities, but I think the way that the standardized tests are executed, I don't think is necessarily handled the best, because I think that like the same types of questions should be asked, but maybe they should be worded differently for certain areas or for certain parts of the country to make it easier and to make it more understandable or relatable for certain demographics across the country.
Okay, thank you very much. What knowledge do you guys think is worth the most, and what is that knowledge?
I think the most valuable knowledge is knowing how to apply what you're learning to your own experiences and to what you find interesting. And when you do that, you're able to add value to what you're learning, and it makes it more memorable, and you're able to apply it more.
I would say being able to apply your knowledge to how your questions are answered and how you word everything. Yeah.
I think the best kind of knowledge is the knowledge that like allows you to understand who you are, especially within a classroom, because some people learn better whenever they hear things, some people learn better whenever they write things, or some people just learn better whenever they're hands-on, and I think understanding that kind of knowledge about yourself allows you to be more successful in the classroom and in life.
Okay. All right, thank you.
How do you think white privilege works in society and schools, including Georgia Southern?
I feel as though, unfortunately, sometimes the white race does have an advantage over the African American community. However, there are those people like myself and other people at Georgia Southern University, as well as colleges and universities around the world, who are trying to make a difference in not just the African American race, whether it be by going to school more or actually trying to get into a school. The privilege people speak of is the fact that sometimes, unfortunately, different races do work harder than other races.